Oh, Ida brings the energy every night, every day at practice. She's talking to her teammates. She just does a great job of creating that kind of environment. I know you guys all hear that, so that's why it was so important to get her here.
How are Aliyah and Grace done acclimating just so far? I know it's early, but how did
Yeah, I mean, Grace is one of the hardest workers I've ever coached. I mean, what she's put in here since she got here 2 weeks early. I mean, she's just picking it up. She's watching a lot of video. Aaliyah went out to California, worked before she came, and then got here, went to work. She is, as a post player, it takes a little bit more time when you're trying to get used to a new system. She's also getting used to not having 2 and 3 and 4 people trying to guard her. So it's just really fun to watch her grow.
You are going hard these first couple days. Kind of tell me about just testing these girls and seeing what they got right out the gate.
Yep, so that was kind of our goal. We wanted to kind of see who could withstand, who was going to hold up. Our trainer, Todd, he sent a great text message this morning to everybody, and it was just about, this is day 5, this is practice number 5. This is the one that you're going to feel. You got to find a way to get through it. You know, I just told them, you know, tough situations create strong people, and that's what it's about. Like, if you can hold on and you can keep getting past that where you think you're tired and then move past it, that's where the magic happens. So that's what we talked about today.
What's your question about Kelsey so far, and I guess how she's handling being one of kind of the other statesmen?
Yeah, Kelsey Mitchell, you know, I drafted Kelsey Mitchell. We drafted her when I was here last time. So it's great to watch her in this environment now. I had her for 2 years, and now going into year 6, her maturity level, we are spending a lot of time talking. I really want her more involved as a leader on this team. It's so important that she is the face. I mean, she's the face of the franchise. So, you know, she's done a great job buying in. We had a great meeting on Saturday night. Everyone really bought into what we're trying to do here, and it's just, you just hear it out there. Like, there's just a lot of excitement. Oh, Kelsey is, boy, I almost got you. Kelsey is the speed that she has. Kelsey Mitchell can turn on the jet so fast and go by people, and before you know it, she's gone. But she's also learned how to change speeds. She's also learned how to, like, get by somebody, there's the help, and then go again. And so just watching that growth, she used to be like full steam ahead. Now she's like reading the defense now, which is huge for her.
Did you get a sense of a team's chemistry this quickly, or does this take a little more time?
Yeah, that's a good question. If I had to answer that, it feels so great right now. Our coaches are really pouring in to the players. They're watching video every day with them. They're showing them clips from the night before or the practice before. They're showing up early to watch those clips. It's a different feel than, you know, this early in training camp. So I don't want to get too excited, but I'm really excited about where we are after practice 5.
What's the biggest thing you want to see ahead of the season, just in training camp, that would make you feel good about where your team is at?
I just want us to play some really, really good defense. I think these guys were in a lot of games last year, and if they'd have just had a few more possessions of defense where they really locked in and got stops, they would have won those games. We're able to put up points. We got people that can put up points. We got to be able to stop some people.
I had one more on Kelsey, basically. She's obviously playing a lot on the ball, off the ball. How do you see that role for her? Do you see her being more of a point guard, more of a 2? How do you see that balance, I guess, and how do you see that working with her?
Yeah. So the way we want to play is we're going to let whoever rebounds and gets the closest outlet. That's the advantage we have. So, but I like Kelsey off the ball a lot because we're going to be able to run a lot of actions for her, get her some wide open looks. Our goal is to get wide open shots. So if we play with good space and we're able to create and use the playmakers and the shooters that we have, and then with our bigs, get that space, Kelsey's going to be able to take some wide open shots, and we know what she can do when she gets hot.
It feels good. They are moving fast, I will say. Had a couple of days to rest, but it's looking good. The energy is great. The rookies are learning very fast, and that's a good thing. You know, everybody just trying to get on the same page. Everything is new. But I will say the most important thing is our energy has been good.
What do you think of that pace and energy coming from Christie Sides last year?
It's the same. I know Kristy, like I said, she's lifetime friend for me, so I know what she wants, and I don't expect anything less.
How different is just this dynamic that you came back to? It's obviously a much, much younger team than you had when you were here before. What's it just been like, especially just to be one of the few veterans?
That's exactly it. They're younger. I'm older. I'm not used to this, so it's definitely an adjustment to me. But this is what I asked for. This is why I'm here. So I'm happy to be here to be the vet and just kind of give my knowledge of why I've been in the league for 8 years.
I saw just out there you were doing a lot of direct in traffic. Like you said, on your first day participating. Is that something that you consider really important to you to do, is to make sure that you're keeping everybody where they're supposed to be?
Absolutely. I'm a point guard, so I'm supposed to direct. Even if they know I'm still supposed to direct, that's part of being a leader. So that's my job, is to direct.
What stands out amongst the newcomers that have come in that they've brought to this group themselves?
Energy. I mean, they've just been high energy even when they're tired. Yesterday was a tough day and they had any moment to give up, and they didn't. So as a vet, to see the young ones fight through that tiredness it makes me happy.
What have you thought about Kelsey? What's different about her, basically? What's it been like to see her just sort of change the roast this last time you played with her?
She's talking more. Kelsey's more so soft-spoken. She doesn't talk much. So we all know she's a great player. So just to see her lead in that way of just talking more, it's been great.
What do you think she's added to her game? Is she tougher to guard now? Is she tougher to deal with now? And if so, how? How do you think she's expanded what she can do?
She just have to get consistent, and like I said, talking up and being more of a leader is what's going to help her. Her game speaks for itself. We know she can score. We know she can get to the basket. So just being able to talk more, she's doing better at that.
How do you expect your dynamic to be similar and different than it was last time?
Just being a leader. You know what I mean? That's my main goal, being a leader. Of course, score at will when it's time to. So, but main job is be a leader and be vocal.
I mean, I just knew it was going to be intense. That was my biggest thing. I didn't try to set any expectations or anything just because this is new territory for me, and so I'm just going through it and being in the moment, but it's been pretty good.
How would you describe this environment to people that aren't here daily?
Very competitive. That's the first thing, just competing to be great, the best version of ourselves, and not only ourselves but also being great teammates on the court. But it's very competitive. But I mean, I wouldn't trade it because that's how you know that you're surrounded by great people who want to win, they want to do great, they want to help everyone do great.
A lot of coaches and players are talking about people pouring into each other here. What does that look like and meant to you so far?
Yeah, I mean, pouring in, that's really our theme, just making sure that we're giving our all to one another. And that looks like communicating on the floor, making sure everyone is good, just talking on the court, making sure you got somebody's help, making sure everybody knows, oh, I need this, I need that, and just a lot of talking and energy.
How do you think the rookies have adjusted so far?
I think, honestly, we're all doing pretty well. We're just being in the moment, but also we have great vets that have helped us. They answer all our questions, even if we ask 30. They're just very engaging for us.
In particular, you mentioned vets. I mean, what's impressive about Kelsey Mitchell so far? Just as a player, as a leader, just what stood out to you?
Yeah, I mean, Kelsey's able to use her voice, and she just talks to us at all times. And she's just a flat-out scorer. Like, we've scrimmaged a couple times, and when she's on my team, she'll take a shot and be like, wow, that was nice. I'm like running down the court like, dang, that was really good. But, I mean, she's a flat-out scorer, great defender, and just a great communicator overall.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's always an adjustment for rookies, new terminology, new coach, new players you're playing with. And it's just another level of athleticism, and you're playing against the best players in the world. So I think it's something that's just an ongoing process. Get 1% better every day. Really lean into the vets, to the coaches, be a sponge to them, and then hopefully, like I said, just get 1% better every day.
Grace, how would you describe this environment in here?
Yeah, I just say a lot of energy, and I think that starts at the top with Coach Sides. I mean, you can hear it in her voice when she talks, how excited she is to be here, how much energy she's pouring into us, and then I think that trickles down to the players, from the vets to the rookies and everyone in between. We're really just buying into her energy, her passion, and we're bringing it every single day.
Did this meet your expectations going into training camp and playing in the WNBA, or was there an adjustment period or something different you weren't expecting?
I think it's about what I expected. I mean, I've watched the W for a long time, so I realized how fast-paced it was, how athletic everyone is, how talented everyone is. But you don't know until you actually get there. So there's definitely things every day that I'm learning, but I'm just trying to have an open mind and just be willing to adjust on the fly.
What's impressive about Kelsey Mitchell so far? What have you learned from her? And I know you were at least defending her for a little bit. What's it been like to guard her? What kind of lessons have you learned from her?
I mean, I have so much respect just from watching her, obviously, since she's been at Ohio State. But I think, it's been great to kind of know her as a person and as a leader. She's a great leader. I'll miss a shot. She'll pat me on the back. She'll tell me to keep shooting. That's a good shot. She'll come up and give me tips here and there. So I think, she's just someone that, I'm really excited to guard and get better. And really, obviously, it pushes myself guarding one of the best players in the W. But also just learn from her, watch her habits on and off the court, and try to be like her.
What makes her challenging for the little time? I'm not sure how much time you've got to defend her just in practice or whatnot, but what makes her tough to guard to keep away from the block?
I think her speed obviously is a big challenge. She's, one of the fastest guards in the league. And then her ability to score on 3 levels. She can hit the 3, she can hit the floater, mid-range, and obviously she can get all the way to the rim. So, she's a tough cover inside out.
There's a feeling out process when it's all new for everybody, but there seems to be some chemistry with this group very quickly. What have you seen these first couple days?
I think that's just a credit to the vets, welcoming the new people with open arms, taking us in, showing us the ropes. We've been here for a week or two, all of us, so we've kind of gotten some work in before training camp just to get familiar with each other. We played pickup all last week, so they've just been great, taking us, under their wing, giving us advice on and off the court of what we should expect, and then we're just following their lead. But like I said, credit to them.
For you, how important was it to get here early and kind of get your feet wet before camp?
It was really important to me. I think being so close, it made it obviously really easy for me, and I saw it as just a way I could, kind of prepare myself, because I know at training camp, one piece of advice that I got from talking to different coaches and teams across the league before the draft was that you have to be a quick learner in order to stick in the W. So you have 2 weeks to learn all the plays. So any extra time that you can get to learn the terminology, learn what the coaches and other players are like, is just advantageous to you.
Thanks, Grace.
I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't here for last year's camp. Yeah, previous camps that I've attended, the energy here is great. All the young girls, they're willing to learn. They want to work hard. They want to get in and get extra shots up and everything. So everybody wants to win. Everybody's pouring in, and that's kind of our team goal this year is everybody pour in. So yeah, it's been really good.
What do you see as big differences in Kelsey from last year to this year?
Oh man, you can tell Kelsey's been in the gym for sure. She stepped up as a leader, and the things that she brings on the court. I mean, it's Kelsey, guys. Come on.
Same question about Nalissa. You've been with her for a lot of these drills.
Oh yeah, same with Liz. Liz is, she won the AU, and I feel like she brought a lot from that to this, and she's actually stepping up. It's her second year, and she's actually helping the rookies this year. So she's been great with that as well. And her game, she's added to it this year. So I'm excited for her.
Y'all going forward real quickly here these first couple
yeah.
days. Tell me about the intensity, how everybody seems to have leveled up in these first couple 3 days.
Oh yeah, I mean that's what we doing. That's what we bringing, because we have we're turning a page. It's not the same Indiana as it's been in the past. Like I said, we're pouring in. Everybody wants to give 1,000%, and I feel like that's what we're doing.
You said you can tell Kelsey's been in the gym. Can you see that she's added? What is
I mean, the speed has gotten faster. Her jump shot is pure, and she's working on that right hand. Yeah.
One thing Coach said was that she's getting really good at changing speeds.
Mm-hmm.
Really fast, but she's getting better at being able to stop.
I agree, yeah. So she's actually being able to read the game a little bit better. She's actually to slow it down and then sprint out of things differently. So, yeah, she's worked on that as well.
How much does that just make her a tough cover?
I mean, Kelsey's a dog in general. So, I mean, if you couldn't stop her then, I can only imagine what she'll be able to do now. Yeah.
It's rookies that have come in here playing a very high level of basketball. What has impressed you about this new group and how much they've been able to show you these first couple days?
They've been able to pick up on a lot of things, and I feel like, when I was a rookie, it was really hard for me because of the terminology and the different things that were thrown at me, but they're picking up on a lot of stuff that are very quickly, and they're buying into what the coaches want, and it's making camp a lot easier.
What about the birthday girl?
Oh!
How big is it to have her back here?
Oh, it's real big. It's real big to have E-Dub. I mean, for the first couple of days, it was just me kind of. So when she came in and her presence and then her actually being able to play and show it on court, lead by example, it's been great.
How important is it for her to be one of the leaders of this group?
It's really important. I mean, E-Dub brings a lot. She's been an all-star. She knows what it takes to get to that next level. So she's actually, pouring in for the rookies and showing them what it takes to be a great professional athlete.
You've worked with Christie Sides before. 4, and everybody's talking about her energy today. Did you know she was going to be like that when she was a head coach eventually?
I knew what she's like. I knew what she was like as an assistant. And she brings really good energy. She brings knowledge of the game, but the best thing I love is that she's a good person. So to play for her is going to be really fun, and I'm excited with what we've done already. Yeah, sorry.
This transition up tempo, Boston, how much has that taken? What was the day out there?
Yeah, I love it. That's what we need to be. We need to play up tempo to compete with these, bigger, stronger teams. So we're going to need to do that this year.
What's different about Kristy as a head coach versus assistant? What have you seen? Just the difference is her being in that chair. What's different about how she operates?
I think she's just molded into it perfectly. She suits it. Yeah, I think that she's communicating well. She's giving us what we need. She's definitely picked this role up and she's running with it.
Is there differences philosophically? Are there things that you see that stand out that's more her than what she played under before?
Definitely energy. She wants us to bring the energy and the communication. And that's something that she brought as an assistant, but now she's expecting that from everybody. I think also that our defensive presence needs to be big this year. And so she's really focusing on that.
I was gonna say, what kind of improvement just we've seen in a couple of days on defense? I mean, like, as far as just how high the level is, the standard, I mean, what's how is she kind of making sure you guys understand just how good you need to be?
That's right. It really just starts with our communication, but also now that we know where our spots are, we can get to them a bit quicker, and then use that communication to kind of rotate and do our thing as well.
You feel surprised to be traded, and how much did it help knowing that Kristy was there waiting for you again when you did switch teams?
That's right. Yeah, I didn't know it was happening, but when I found out the news and heard that Kristy was going to be head coach, I think that I was excited to play for her. Kristy, again, she's a really good person, so I knew that she would only bring in good people. So I know what she's about. So I was happy to be a part of it.
Spots on the floor, the X's, the Denver. That's something she took from that, or is that new style and the way you guys are trying to implement?
Yeah, we did that in Atlanta, but also I think that that's like pretty basic spacing stuff. So I think a lot of teams would do that, but now that we've got our places to be on the court, we just need to get there.
How do you think for Kristy?
Kristy, Howard Magdal at the Next. How are you? Good to see you.
Hi, Howard.
Take me through, if you could, the biggest differences you see in your game last year into this year. What are you bringing to the table as sort of you think of the next level of your evolution as a player?
Yeah, I think this is different. We're obviously a young team. So maybe being an older player, maybe I can use a bit of that and my experience and just kind of communicate and just be a bit more of a leader this year. Now that it's not my first year, I've been through it before, I can kind of lead in my own way as well. And that may not be the same as everybody, but in my own way. So I'm looking forward to do that.
And specifically to that, in your initial conversations with both Kristy and with Lynn, bringing you in, was that a point of emphasis with them to talk about the ways in which, this is obviously a very young team, the ways in which you're going to be able to lead in that way?
Yeah, absolutely. I've had the chat with Kristy, and I think that I bring that to the table, and I can lead with my voice, but also just leading by example and doing the little things and the little hustle things and the 1%ers. And I'm hoping that I can bring that to this team and lift that in some way.
In terms of your skill set specifically, obviously your ability to create spacing with your shot, how important has that been just early on in practice, being able to see on a team where there's so much presence inside, they're being better able to operate inside because of what you can do from the perimeter?
Yeah, I think when you've got, threats on the 3-point line, I think that space is out the floor. So bringing out the defenders and allowing our bigs to do their thing. And not only having a huge, big presence inside, it helps to have shooters on the outside. So, and we've got plenty of players that can do that this year. And I'm excited for what we can do.
A couple others, obviously having Kelsey Mitchell next to you, she has sort of a singular skill set. Take me through just early on what you've seen out of that and how you guys seem to be pairing up together.
I'm excited. I'm so excited to play with Kelsey. I'm usually the one playing defense. on Kelsey. So not being able to chase her around all game is exciting for me. So to get to play with her is really cool. And I'm excited to, play with her skill set and get her some open shots and for her to do her thing as well.
And then obviously having Grace Berger in town, somebody who has a lot of versatility, what have you been able to impart to Grace early on, and how do you, see that role specifically being a critical part of what you're doing, working with Grace as she's entering the league?
Grace has done really well so far. She's a really talented player, and she's going to have a really great future in the W. Yeah, so far she's been doing really well. She's been a sponge really, and she's just soaking up all the information she can, and also implementing it, which is a big thing for us. So Grace is going to be all fine.
Thanks, Christy. I appreciate it.
Thanks for your time. Yes.
As far as Berger, what's that like? What makes her such a tough? What makes her tough to keep from getting to?
Kelsey's speed is ridiculous. So to just stay in front of her is really tough. Just the way she can just turn it on is pretty incredible. You can guard her all game, and then for 5 minutes she scores 20 points. So you really need to be switched on all game at all times with Kelsey. She's an incredibly talented player. So I am just excited to play with her this year.
What's about her? You always have top level ability to get up and down, but when to speed up, when to attack help. I mean, that's different.
That's right.
What's impressed you about that? Her ability to be able to move around and change the game.
Yeah, no, she's just able to read the game. And she can use her explosiveness when she needs to. So having that talent mentally, but also physically is really impressive. So the world's her oyster.
Combination of athletes, I'm limited, and then coming back home and kind of like going back to the basics was just really getting back to my speed and agility trainer, Coach Craig Thompson. Shout out to him. We just do a lot of agility in so many, various aspects, whether that be the band around my hip and moving my feet. Just a lot of like different kinesthetics that you need to be able to play as fast and being able to slow down in certain situations. And I think for me, that's the next step to my game.
Praise be real. Pouring it to others.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Everybody's different. Like I said, I'm not a woman of many words, but I think for me, as long as I lead through action, and just be that support system for my teammates, I think that's my definition of pouring in. I think God put us all on this earth for different roles, and variations. So my role is to pour in a different way, and that's just to be the support system that they need and be there when they need me. So.
What does that hold on anybody?
Yeah.
Now,
yeah.
All these kids, either I think it's 13 out of 17 right. First or second year. I mean, what's that like? Just as at least a couple of years to be around that much youth.
It's a graceful feeling, to be honest, man. To know where I started from and to know where I'm at now, all the growth and all the experience, but also to be able to take my experiences and not put that on first and second year players, but kind of be an impact and give them what I think a lot of the pros go through, and just be that support system. It's so much that happens throughout the course of one day for a pro athlete, especially at the beginning of their career, that a lot of people don't understand. It's just as small as finding a weight room or knowing where the massage room is or knowing how to talk to Todd. Like at this level, all that kind of like plays a role, and it's nothing like having an older person or a more experienced basketball player to be on your side and help you with that. Like it's a good feeling. Trust me. Yeah. I think experience tells me that. It's not necessarily them not knowing and me knowing. It's just experience tells me that if I wouldn't be the leader that I'm trying to be if I didn't express or tell them what I think they needed. You know what I'm saying?
Just for you.
Tiffany Mitchell for sure. Tiffany Mitchell was one of the most decorated vests I think I've had. Her preparation was everything. And Shanice Johnson, even Natalia Chong will play a lot of role from a logistical standpoint and just understanding how to maneuver about being a pro. And so those guys taught me how and to understand the ways about being a professional. And I think as small as it sounds, it's a big deal when you first touch a city, a state that you don't know, a team that you don't know, an organization that you don't know. And so you just try to be that for them. Really good. It's been really good, even on the court. I think our chemistry is constantly developing. It's crazy. Was 2 days, 5 practices. 2 days, 3 days, 5 practices. So, on top of the open run, so it's been a really, really good. AB is just one of those people where it's like she's gonna do what's required, and she's always been the uplifter. And it's so kind of like weird to see her coming into the league, but she's already got it. Like she's a natural, and she's so freaking amazing. Like like to see it on TV is like one thing, and then you see it in person, it's like, bro, like I just cannot believe that I'm playing with her now. So it feels good to be on the right side of things, and just to kind of embrace and keep influencing each other to kind of like be on the same page. Yeah, I think in a positive way, she takes up a lot of space on that role, to the point where it gives me a little bit more vision, a little bit more time to see the play that I need to make for us, not for me, not just for her, but for us and for the team. So her ability to take up space and be able to seal people is literally amazing. So I think the more and more we get into that pick and roll situation, it's in such big space. It's going to be hard for people to think, kind of like contain both of us at the same time.
What sense have you got from Kristy so far in terms of how much you're going to be on the ball versus how much you're going to be off the ball? She was talking a lot about setting you up off the ball, running you off the stuff and getting you open shots. You know, is that how you see this? And what are you hoping for there? And what do you expect?
Yeah, I think for me, it's just I'm expecting a little bit more like for me to be able to be in a position to make plays. Off the ball is one thing, but I think I have a good handle on like, making plays with the ball as well. And I think Coach Kristy seeks that, and she knows that if she ever needs me to kind of like take on those situations, that I'm capable of doing it. And I also think that for me, off the ball is just about finding my spots, even though I'm not on it. And so the more and more I learning, because my whole life I've been a PG. And so now 4 or 5 years in, I'm just now learning how to play off the ball. And so it's still taking some time, but I think the biggest part right now is just finding my spots.
What's bringing Erica back?
Yeah.
So far, I mean, what are you expecting that dynamic to be like? How do you expect it to be the same and different than it was before?
She has leadership characteristics. She's one of those ones she's been doing it for a long time, and with her experience and just being in Indiana before and then coming back and creating a culture that, she was in Atlanta, she was in LA, and so she's cultivated so much experience that for us and what she wants to do here, I think we can all kind of do it together now and take on her leadership and kind of utilize it for all these young ones.
From a home-floor perspective, how do you feel like you'll be better working for a second?
I think I got a little bit more experience on my belt, and I've always been able to play. I can play with anybody in the world, but it's just when it comes to specifically Erica, just finding out, she does that, so I do this. So just kind of like obviously that chemistry, kind of like Aliyah Boston, just kind of always figuring out that chemistry standpoint and figuring out where my spots is with her, and where she needs me to be, and vice versa. So. Yeah, he's got to take it.
Yeah, you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Hi, Kelsey. Good to see you again. Couple things, number one, beyond Kristy, just in terms of her overall leadership, Christie Sides, I should say, to be clear. What are the points of emphasis from Coach Kristy on the defensive end early on? And, how are you seeing that implemented in practice here in the first few days?
She requires what she requires. And she don't care how tired you feel. She don't care if your knees hurt. She don't care if your head hurts. She requires what she requires. And that's the dopest part about where Indiana Fever is going to go. She's already stamped gap. She's already stamped help side. She's already stamped running and getting back in transition on the defensive side. So she stamped that from day one. And so although we make jokes about it being a running practice, she's going to prepare us, and she's going to make sure that we're prepared for every opponent that we play this year.
And I know defense is such an important part of your game and your overall identity, but how satisfying is it to be someplace where it feels like systematically that is a point of emphasis for the entire team?
Ah, man. I mean, she, like you said at the end, the whole team, like there's not one person that's let up the hook when it comes to defense. And it just goes to show to our culture and what we're trying to establish, whether that be from the media people, from the support group, like all of us are on the same page as far as like being present and being accounted for, and Coach Christie's not going to let you rest. So it's about doing what's required and being held accountable for that. So it feels good.
Yeah, and I know you talked about Aliyah from a point of view of spacing and creating on the offensive end, but something that she obviously excelled at from day one in South Carolina was being in the right place at the right time defensively. How significant is her presence there already, something that you guys are able to feel in practice?
Oh man, it's amazing. Her presence in general, like I said, when she takes over space, guys, like she takes up the entire paint on both sides of the floor, and I haven't seen that in a while. I think the last person I seen it do it consistently that I was around was Brittany Griner, and she's like 6'9", 6'8". So this just put that into perspective about how good she is already, about knowing what she is on the floor. Like,
and then with someone like Grace Berger, who's come from Indiana, is it easier? You talked about, getting to a new city, getting to a new area. Is it an easier transition, you think, for her because she knows the area so well already?
Knowing the area is one thing, but I think being able to interact and move around and have motion throughout that area is a little different when she's been out on the college campus for a while. Sure. But the one thing that I love about Grace Berger is the fact that she's always prepared for the moment. And when it comes down to trying to figure things out, I mean, I don't have any doubt that Grace Berger will not figure it out. Like, she's going to figure it out. And I think that's what makes her so good.
And then just the last thing, you talked about leadership being pouring into the young kids as they are coming up. Give me a story, if you can, about the last couple of days, a time you poured somebody and what that looks like in practice for you.
We had, some people just kind of like figure out just where to go and what time to be there. And so now we've created this like a constant check-in about like, hey, you gotta be here at this time. So, make sure you're there. But if you need me to take you there, let me know. We had a player or two yesterday need to go get a massage, didn't know where to go. So those small things just make life easier. And when you can lean on your teammates for certain things, that small, it just makes your day, because it's like, dang, not only do I got a massage, I can't be late and I don't know where it is. So it's just as small as that kind of stuff that you find yourself helping people out with. And you become graceful about it. It's just a great feeling that you can be relied on, and people look at you as a reliable, consistent person to be able to talk to.